Hello friends, generating content, making it available, integrating and updating it is equally important as the development and provision of the actual software of a web application. Web applications are used expressly because of the content they offer. True to the motto, content is king. Hello and welcome to our channel Ullas Kumar Gokhale for Learning. The topic for today is Data Aspect Architectures Part 2. Here we are going to learn the architectures for web document management. Let us start with the agenda. First, we'll study the introduction. Then we'll discuss the content management architecture. Then we'll study the working of the content management architecture. Then retrieving external content. Then as an example, we'll study the Cocoon 2 open source framework for the publisher content. Then we'll study the Cocoon 2 pipeline. Then parts of this pipeline will study the generator, then transformer and serializer. Let us start with the introduction. Generating content and making it available, integrating and updating it is equally important as the development and provision of the actual software of a web application. So here we have to give importance to content because for web application, it should be available to the user and we have to integrate the content and update it often. So that's why this is important for a web application. Then web applications, they are expressly used because of the content they offer. So in web applications, content is the king. So we have to give more importance to the content. Then in addition to structured data held in the databases and the multimedia data held on the media servers, content of web applications are often processed in the form of documents. So here the content management architecture support the integration of documents from different sources, representing a mechanism to integrate these contents into the web applications. So web applications will need the integration of contents. So that will be done with the help of the content management architecture. Then let us go to the content management architecture. There you can see the figure here. So we have the content delivery system, and in the content delivery system we have the web server and content delivery server. So the client will request the content to the web server and then web server will pass it on to the content delivery server. Then we have the content management server. If the content is available with the content delivery server, it can give it back to the client. But if it is not available, then it will be forwarded to the content management server and the contents will be given back to the content delivery server by the content management. And here we have different ways of giving the contents. So we have the static documents, or it may be in the form of content database, and the content will be given as a aggregation service, or from the external database the content will be given. And also we have the syndication service to get the contents. So all these are connected to the content management server. So in this way, the content management architecture will provide the content to the content delivery system and it will be given to the client. Then next, we are coming to the working of the content management architecture. As we have already seen, the web server receives a client request and forwards it to the content delivery server. So once the request is received, it will be forwarded to the content delivery server. Then the content delivery server is responsible for distributing and perhaps sketching the contents. So distribution of the content will be done by the content delivery server. If the content is available in cache, it will be delivered to the client by the content delivery server via the web server. Then if the requested content is not in the cache, then the request is forwarded to the content management server. So the content can be available directly on the server in the static form as a document or in the content database, or it can be accessible externally. So we'll have to see how the content is taken from these different sources. So let us go to the retrieving external content. So depending on the type of integration, external content can be retrieved. Retrieval can be done by accessing the external databases. So directly we can access the database or by use of aggregation service. So aggregation services are available with the databases, and by using those services, we can get the content, or we can make use of the syndication service. So that is the third party will give us the content with the help of this syndication service. Then in contrast to accessing the database, a syndication service can handle additional functionalities. For example, automated billing of the licensing rights. So we can prefer the syndication service if required. Then one example of publisher component to prepare the static XML documents is Cocoon 2 open source framework. So let us see what is Cocoon 2 open source framework. So here the Cocoon 2 supports the publication of XML documents in the web. Its range of application is primarily the transformation of XML content documents into different output formats. So as per the need of the client, the different formats will be used for giving the contents. The underlying processing work is based on a pipeline model, that is, a request is accepted and forwarded to a generator predefined in a configuration file. So let us see what is Cocoon 2 pipeline. So here you can see request is given to the generator, and there is a transformer which will transform the contents, and there is a serializer. Then it will be given to the serializer, and finally, so the serializer will give us the content in the proper form, and then it will be given to the client. Then let us go to the Cocoon 2 pipeline. Here a request is accepted and forwarded to the generator predefined in the configuration file. Then within the pipeline, the XML document is subject to several processing steps to bring it into a desired output format. So there are many steps for bringing it into the output format. Then all processing steps in the pipeline can access information about the request. For example, the user agent to adapt the response to the request. It is a customization of the user interface. So these are some of the things which are there. We'll have to go through these processing steps. Then let us go to the generator. Generator is called as the beginning of the process. It is responsible for passing the XML, that is XML document, that is extensible markup language document. So the generator uses SAX, that is nothing but the simple API for XML. So this SAX parcel will be used to read the XML document, and then it will generate the SAX message, which is called as the events. So this generator has to forward these events to the pipeline. So it will be forwarded to the pipeline, that means the transformer. So these SAX events can be used to transform or forward the document. So this means the generator makes the data available for the processing. So the first part of the pipeline is the generator, which will make the data available for processing. Then it will be given to the transformer and serializer. So the transformer can be compared with a XLS style sheet. Now XLS is a language for expressing style sheets, and an XLS style sheet is just like a CSS, that is cascading style sheet, a file that describes how to display an XML document of a given type. So this is part of the web technology. Then finally, a serializer is responsible for converting it to the desired output format. So here the output format can be HTML or XML again. Then a powerful configuration mechanism in the form of an XML configuration file can be used to select the and define the generator, transformer and serializer. So this is how the XML configuration file, it will select, define the generator, transformer and serializer. That is, these are the different parts of the pipeline. So for example, the configuration routine lets one control the processing pipeline depending on the request and the processing result. So that means as per the output result, the pipeline will do the processing. So this is how this will work. So with this, we come to the end of this video. If you have any questions, you can contact me on Facebook, Twitter, Gmail or Instagram. Then if you like the video, press the like button, share with your friends and subscribe to our channel Ullas Kumar Gokhale for learning. And don't forget to press the bell icon so that you get notifications for our future videos on this subject, that is web engineering. Then thanks for watching. Have a nice day.